What's going on, you guys? Coming to you today with another Armada fleet build. I'm trying to do a real fun Raddus build today that'll be a little bit well-rounded, as well as let you do some of the cool new Wave 7 mechanics. I'm using Ryan Kingston's fleet builder today, and hopefully we'll be able to play and do some bat reps here soon. So I'm doing a Rebel fleet today, and we're going to be using Raddus and the Profundity, both in the same build. And one of the things that I've noticed when trying to put this type of thing together is that it's hard to fit a lot of ships into, because this uses so much points that aren't even going to be on the board. So first off, I'm going to start off with an ordnance cruiser, and we're going to give it the Profundity title. Let's build out the ship we're going to warp inside with Profundity. I have talked a little bit about using GR75s as an option with rapid launch bay, and then you can really do some fun stuff. Also, hammerheads are a good idea, especially if you want to put Gorels on or put them right in ramming position. But today I'm going to do a CR90B, and I'm going to give the CR90B the heavy ion emplacements. So the idea here is that Profundity, like Raddus is going to trigger, Profundity is going to warp in. It can't activate first, but if I'm first player, the CR90B that comes out of Profundity can potentially activate first. So as long as I'm first player, I know I'm going to be able to do this guy first, no problem, and I can set him up in a position that he's going to have double arc, and then he can queue up a concentrate fire command if he wants, and but do like 3 out of the front, 3 out of the side, something like that. You have a much better chance of getting those blue crits to roll when you have 6 blue dice to come at you. So that much is really cool. So that's kind of the plan there. But now as for the actual MC75 itself, I'm gonna go pretty light on squadrons here. I think I'm only gonna run 2 in this build. So I want a way to deal with heavier squadron builds. So I'm gonna give it ordnance pods. Since I can put this guy wherever I want, I can potentially drop him on a squadron, or where his one arc is facing a whole bunch of squadrons. Then wide area barrage also is another way to potentially get some extra damage. I mean, it's multi-purpose. It's good all around, but it's good with squadrons as well. And since we're concentrating on his black dice, we'll give him ordnance experts as well. So that's we're not gonna put too much. I was really thinking, usually on these MC75s, I give them ECM for the defensive retrofit. But I figure since I'm deploying this guy later, there's a couple of rounds that he's not going to take fire. So I think I can risk not putting ECM there. It's risky, but that's how it goes. Okay, so now now all this is going to be off the board when we start. So what do I want? First off, my flagship, I'm going to do a CR90A with turbo laser reroute circuits and Jaina's light. And that's going to be where I put Raddus. So this is nothing new. A CR90A with Jaina's light is great. It's good for certain objectives. It's good for just be able to not take damage from asteroids, and also be able to fly behind your ships so it can be obstructed from enemy attacks while not having its own attacks obstructed. Makes it kind of a safer place for Raddus. And the TRC is, kind of guarantees that it can get some damage out there. It's good overall build for him. Since I don't really have to protect him for long, I only need to protect him long enough to get this guy out, and that can be at any time. But since I have Raddus, I wanted a lot of ships, so I have as many options as possible. So I'm gonna do 2 hammerheads, and I really like the idea of kind of having these guys as front arc. Lots of dice throwers, like a firing line. So we're gonna load up a hammerhead Corvette here, and I'll probably make 2 of these. But I'm gonna give him disposable capacitors, and I'm also gonna give him spinal armament. Spinal armament only comes in the Liberty expansion, so it's not one of those things that you have a whole bunch of extra ones laying around. I really hope they make these into promos pretty soon, because same thing with heavy ion emplacements. Although heavy ions probably won't for a little while, but I think it's been long enough, we could probably see spinal armaments come up as a promo, because I really would love to run a whole bunch of Nebulons with them as well. But so this is going to let these guys have three red and a blue out of the front at long range, fire twice, and then that's a lot of long distance dice. That they can roll on basically 8 dice per Corvette. Maybe even 9 if they do a concentrate fire. So pretty good pretty good setup there. Being able to attack 2 targets. And that gives me 3 ships right there. I have enough points. I'm going to put a 4th ship in. And we're going to do a GR-75. We're going to do a GR-75 medium transports. And this guy, I don't really need to hand out tokens in this build. So I think I can just run him just plain. And then use the rest. I'm at 381. I can use the rest of these points for a couple of Z95s. And then so the GR-75 can actually be activating the Z95. So I do have a couple of squadrons. I do have a ship that's dedicated to activating them. And, that's just going to be enough to kind of hold off, a heavy bomber build or something like that for a turn or 2. If somebody's coming after Raddus really quickly, I can use those for that. They just need to to keep Raddus alive long enough for me to get these other guys out there. So that's and that puts me at 395. That's a reasonable bid for first player. It's not a super strong bid, but I mean there's plenty of things we could do. We could drop disposable capacitors off the Hammerhead Corvettes if we wanted to. We could drop a couple of things. We could potentially take off wide area barrage maybe. We could drop the CR-90B down to a Hammerhead with Gorell's Honor. I think that Heavy Ions is kind of pushing it up a bit. There's all kinds of little things we could do, but I'm okay with 395. I'm okay with being second player at this point. So let's look at those objectives, because we might be second player. So one thing is, normally I have a decent number of ships here. Opening salvo is not going to be real good, though. And a big reason for that is that I've got one of my starting ships can't shoot, being the medium transport. So that's not going to be able to happen. But then the other 2, the MC-75 and the CR-90B, don't start. They don't start on the board, so I wouldn't be able to start with an objective token on them. So that much is kind of a bummer. It would be nice if they could still get it, even if they weren't on the board when I deployed fleets. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work with them. So I can't do opening salvo as much as I like that. I think in this case, advanced gunnery kind of would be nice, except again, I can't choose the MC-75 because he's not on the board. So I think most wanted is clearly the way to go here, because I've got a cheap GR-75 that is kind of a throwaway ship, and so I can choose whatever I want for the enemy. Now we're looking at our yellows. Here is a case where, generally, I'm not going to have much in the way of deployment advantage. So I want my opponent to, to either know where they're going to go or for them to completely deploy first. So by picking an objective where I know where they're going to go, that could be helpful. I mean, planetary ion cannon's always generally good, but it isn't super great here. I think contested outpost might be a good one. Fire lanes might also be a good one. Kind of like the idea with fire lanes, because I can then drop the MC-75 in, and it gives me options. If I don't if I don't have a good spot to drop the MC-75, I can just drop them in where the lanes are. That much would also be pretty fun. And considering I got these hammerheads that are going to be flying towards the lanes, that actually would be really cool. I like the idea of fire lanes. That would really strengthen the frontal attack of the hammerheads. Of course, they'd make them vulnerable to flanking, but they're always going to be vulnerable to flanking, and that's one thing I can use Raddus for. All right, and then for our blue, because we are at a tremendous disadvantage here, I'm going to have to go. See, blue, it always comes down to Solar Corona for me. It really does, or superior positions. But I mean, actually, and this is a case you might consider using superior positions, because of the fact that you've got Raddus and Profundity, you can put stuff behind other ships with a relative ease. I just generally like superior positions better if I've got squadrons, just because of especially a lot of rogues. Then they can go behind and get those earlier victory points for you. But yeah, Solar Corona here is going to definitely be nice, although it could backfire a little bit. Yeah, I'll go with superior positions, because if I'm putting stuff behind and I'm deploying in funky angles, I might end up shooting into the Solar Corona. So we'll go with superior positions. Yeah, because I can easily drop this CR-90B behind somebody, get that extra victory points. MC-75 might be able to do that as well. So, and then the CR90A, who can easily swing around and get those rear shots as well. So that's, yeah, that is the build. So let me know what you think, guys. Hopefully I can bring this to a battle report here pretty soon. I think this would be a fun one to do a full battle report on. Don't know if when the next one's going to be, but I also want to try and get some an 800 point battle recorded for you guys pretty soon. At least within this month, I'm going to try to do that. But Legion's coming out soon, so that's going to, once that hits, that's going to consume a lot of my resources, at least for the weeks surrounding its launch. So there'll be a lot of painting and a lot of that stuff going on too. All right, there is another round of the giveaway going on right now. So if you'd like to win an expansion of your choice, the only thing you need to do to enter is to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that, guys. So this is the build. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I appreciate all that stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, then click the little bell for alerts. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook, and check out the website and the Discord and all of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.